Salutations and fist bumps, folks. Welcome back to the grid, and spoiler alert incoming, just so you know. In the mid-credit scene, we see Ted Kord's laboratory where everything starts to flash on, and we then see a pixelated screen pop on as well, which primarily probably happened when Rudy was turning on everything inside of the lab, where he also calls Batman a fascist. It presumably sent a signal to Ted Kord wherever he actually is. But in the message, he is pleading with whoever sent that message or whoever sent that signal to him to tell his daughter that he is alive. However, there are no actors listed inside of this voiceover, and we don't have any casting information at the moment either in terms of who would play this version of Blue Beetle. And Jason Sudeikis has actually been debunked at this point. So, where is Ted Kord broadcasting from? As we've seen in The Flash, the DCU's multiverse break open. So we know that there are an infinite number of timelines that he could actually be inside of, which means it's possible that he traveled to one of these realities that we saw in the Flash movie, which my educated guess is that he got stuck somewhere inside of one of those realities. And in the comics, the Ted Kord Blue Beetle is best buds with Booster Gold. Gold, who was a football star in the 25th century, fell on some hard times when he decided to make some shady gambling practices, later getting caught. Gold then later got his hands on some pretty advanced AI tech, specifically a robot named Skeets, and then traveled back in time where he became a hero and actually becomes a member of the Justice League International. And then Booster and Ted had all the big fun and did all the things that you could possibly do, becoming Repo Men, owning a casino, and in the newest Blue and Gold series, they also become social media stars while they stream their crime fighting, which is something that you can also see on the Marvel side in terms of the New Avengers doing something similar inside of the comic event of Civil War. But Booster and Ted have done a lot of dumb stuff too. The director has said that they considered using Booster in the post-credit scene, but decided against it, which in my opinion was actually the better choice, because now it has a bunch of different ways that things could actually go. Booster Gold's series has been announced to be a part of the DCU, so it would make sense if Ted Kord was a part of his series in some way, but no one has been cast in that role at all just yet. And for me, it's not hard to believe that Ted and Booster got lost somewhere in the shuffle inside of all of the stuff that they were trying to do or possibly fumbling doing inside of the timeline. Do you have some guesses on where they possibly are? Leave that down in the comments. I'm curious to know. Speaking of the James Gunn-led DCU, is the Blue Beetle a part of it? Or is it a part of the Snyderverse? Because Batman, Superman, and Flash are all mentioned inside of this movie, but we don't see any of them explicitly, so we don't know who or which version they're actually talking about. And Batman has a semi-presence inside of this universe of this movie, but which universe are we talking about? Affleck universe? Pattinson universe? Keaton universe? Clooney even? But add to this fact that the movie was slated to be a max release alongside of Batgirl, which in that particular universe, the Batman would be Keaton. And to add more to this, in that universe, the Gotham City was lit up like a neon Christmas tree in Times Square, which is similar to the aesthetic of Palmyra City. And James Gunn has said that this version, Jaime's version of Blue Beetle, would be showing up inside of the DCU later on. How prevalent that is probably is just going to have to fall on the, is Blue Beetle actually a hit with audiences or not? Because the most likely answer in terms of Blue Beetle's future is if he's a hit with the audiences, he's going to get more series and more movies and show up in cameos way more. If not, he won't. So it sounds like it's just a waiting game to uncover where the loyalty in terms of audiences will fall. Judging from the theaters that I've gone to in the past week, literally everything was sold out, so we might actually see more of Blue Beetle. And in that same case, you're probably wondering,